Hi there, this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, and welcome to another episode of my Eurekas in a row, where I go through my Eureka Masters of Cinema collection and pick out consecutive runs of spy numbers. This is the biggest one so far. This goes from spy number 228 to 244. So if you're scoring at home, you can tick off which Masters of Cinema releases you have. Remember, it's just a bit of fun. Starting with spy number 228. This is a film that probably should get a 4K, but it's one of those films that your eyeballs might melt if it does get a 4K. It's a film that probably should be on the last Sight and Sound list, but obviously wasn't. None of the filmmakers' films made it onto the top 100, which is quite frankly a joke. We're talking about Masaki Kobayashi, and this is Kwaidan. This is the nice hard box edition, and again, as I've said before, I have the Eureka DVD version of Kwaidan, and when I got this upgrade I was just going to have a wee look at the print but not watch the whole film. I put it on and of course watched the whole film. It is 3 hours long, but it just flies by. You get this lovely big thick book. One of the best anthology films of all time. That's the standard case. Of course, it's got Nakadai in it as well, from 1964, and it's got reversible artwork as well. Yeah, I can't remember the first time I saw this, but probably on BBC Two at late night. Yeah, it's absolutely stunning. You get a 1080p. It's a 2K restoration. Kim Newman on Kwaidan. A 35-minute David Cairns and Fiona Watson essay, and again you get a 100-page book. Yeah, just one of the best films of all time, and again, like The Human Condition and Harakiri, nowhere to be seen on the Sight and Sound's greatest films of all time list from 2022. Spy number 229, another Fritz Lang film, and this is another Mabuse. This is The Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabuse, which I enjoyed a lot. It's not the best Mabuse, but it's certainly a fun one. Obviously, Masters Cinema releasing a Mabuse box set, or Mabusa. There's the alternate artwork, which is rather nice. And this is from 1960. And you get a booklet and a disc, which is quite helpful if you want to watch the film. And this is a 1080p. There's an audio track approved by Fritz Lang. There's a feature-length commentary by film scholar and Lang expert David Kalat. The 2002 interview with Wolfgang Preisser. There's an alternate ending as well, and the booklet features an essay by David Cairns, but we don't get a visual essay by David Cairns for all you David Cairns fans. And again, these are all Region B pretty much. Again, lovely slipcover. I didn't actually realise there was that many Mabuse films, but there are. Spy number 230. Again, it's from a filmmaker we all know. It's Johnny To. And of course, I think pretty much a month after this, Criterion released Throwdown as well. It's a really nice cover. Again, for me, Johnny To is one of those directors that has never made a truly great film. but there's absolutely no shame in that because he's made a whole host of very good films. Again, you get filmmakers who make one great film and don't do anything else, or you get filmmakers who just make a lot of very good films. It's whether you want to go for consistent batting average or one comet. But Johnny To just makes really enjoyable, really solid films. I have to say I'm probably not as high on this one as other people are. Again, I thought this was one of his more solid films, but there's plenty of people that rate it higher than me. But again, that's just my opinion, and my opinion is not fact, unlike quite a lot of people in the world at the moment. This is from 2004, so it's a bit of a later one. It's 95 minutes long, and it's about street fighting or judo, which most of it happens in the street. So that's 230. 231 is a nice little Robert Siodmak film, Crisscross, with Burt Lancaster, Yvonne De Carlo, and the always wonderful Dan Duryea. This is from 1949, and it clips under 90 minutes at 88. Again, you get a nice booklet, and this is a 4K restoration, so it looks absolutely lovely. There's a commentary by Lee Gambin, who of course does lots of film noir things, and actress Rutiana Alda. There's another commentary by film scholar Adrian Martin. There's a radio version from 1949 with Burt Lancaster, and in the booklet there's some new writing. There's a piece by Kat Ellinger and an essay by Adam Batty. Yeah, this is about a robbery that goes wrong, of course, and you can guess why it's called Crisscross. And back to a filmmaker who's got lots of titles in the MOC. So this is Spy Number 232, and this is Billy Wilder's A Foreign Affair, with Jean Arthur, Marlene Dietrich, and John Lund. Yeah, one of those people perhaps isn't as famous as the other two. This probably could do with a stronger lead man. This is from 1948. It's 116 minutes, and it's one of Wilder's films that's a little bit overlong. So this is in post-war Berlin, where Congresswoman Phoebe Frost, played by Jean Arthur, goes over to see what's going on in post-war Berlin, and obviously Joan Lund takes a fancy to her, but he's also going out with Erika von Schluttau, that's Schluttau, played by Marlene Dietrich. Yeah, perhaps not top tier Billy Wilder, but it is wonderful to get it in Blu-ray. There's the trio there. It's fairly predictable, but lots of fun, and obviously Dietrich steals the show. This is a commentary by Joseph McBride. It's a video essay by Kat Ellinger, From Berlin to Hollywood, Wilder and Dietrich's Foreign Affair. There's 2 radio adaptations from 49 and 51, featuring the voices of Billy Wilder, Marlene Dietrich, Rosalind Russell, John Lund and Lucille Ball. How about that then? Archival interview with Billy Wilder, there's a trailer, and in the booklet there's a piece by Alexandra Helen Nicholas, amongst others. So that's A Foreign Affair. And next, this is Spy Number 233 to 235. So this is a slight cheat. This is the wonderful Bela Lugosi triple header. So we've got Murders in the Rue Morgue, The Black Cat and The Raven, all from Universal. This lovely slipcover. And again, this is just wonderful stuff if you're that way inclined. Not so wonderful if you're not. Who doesn't like some Bela Lugosi? So they are well, Murders in the Rue Morgue gets its own disc, and the Black Cat and the Raven split a disc. But there's a ton of extras in these. So these are 1932 to 1935, and the total running time is about 3 hours, so they're not particularly long films. So it's 1080 presentations for all 3 films, even though the Raven's got a 2K scan. There's a commentary on Murders in the Rue Morgue by Gregory William Mank. The Black Cat has a commentary by Gregory William Mank, and the Raven's got a commentary by Gary D. Rhodes, and the Raven also has a commentary by Sam Dane. There's a piece on Always Wonderful Kim Newman on Edgar Allan Poe and Universal, and Cats and Horror, a video essay by Lee Gambin. There's American Gothic, a video essay by Kat Ellinger, and The Black Cat on the Radio, starring Peter Lorre. The Telltale Heart episode of Inner Sanctum Mysteries, starring Boris Karloff. Bela Lugosi reads The Telltale Heart. The Black Cat, vintage footage from the film's original promotion campaign, still galleries, and again there's the booklet which features Alexandra Heller Nicholas. This is a wonderful release. I'm assuming it's still in print, but if you're that way inclined, I would highly recommend it. It's good fun, and even if you don't like it, it doesn't last very long. Next, Spine number 236. I had already spent quite a bit of money on the Flickr Alley release of this film, but of course I double dipped when this was actually released. It's The Man Who Laughs with Conrad Veidt. If you're not familiar, Conrad Veidt is one of my favourite people in the film industry of all time. This is a Paul Lenny film from 1928, and again the what if of cinema that Lenny and Conrad Veidt with Carol Laemmle producing could have done Dracula if Lenny hadn't died. And there's Conrad Veidt crying at the fact that Lenny died. This is pretty much a pre-runner of The Joker. If you don't know, gypsies in the olden days would give their children fixed smiles like this as part of the entertainment. This is from 1928, it's 110 minutes, it's a touch over long, but Conrad Veidt is absolutely fantastic. He falls in love with a blind girl, how convenient, so she can't see his face. There's treachery, there's an inheritance. It's just so good. The print's wonderful, and it's one of the tentpole performances by Conrad Veidt. It's a 1080 over 4K restoration, so it does look gorgeous. There's a 1928 movie tone score, and there's another score by the Berkeley Silent Film Orchestra. There's a piece on Kim Newman on Paul Lenny, and there's a visual essay by David Cairns and Fiona Watson, The Face Deceives. Paul Lenny and The Man Who Laughs, there's a video essay by John Soyster. And again, there's a booklet featuring writing by Richard Combs, Travis Crawford, film historian Kevin Brownlow, and Sonia Coronado from the Berkeley Silent Film Orchestra. Yeah, this is another one that I would highly recommend. Again, with beautiful artwork and a beautiful film. Next, we're back to Billy Wilder. This is 237, and this is Five Graves to Cairo, with Eric von Stroheim, Akim Tamaroff, and Baxter, from 1943. And this is the second Hollywood film directed by Billy Wilder, and this is a lot of fun as well. Again, is it his best work? No, but it's a bunch of fun. It's really a road movie set in the desert in North Africa. It stars Francois Tone, probably Tone, as he staggers through the desert after surviving a Rommel attack. He had too much to drink and had a Rommel attack. It's kind of wonderful. It's a bit silly, but it's quite wonderful. On the back it said it's named by Quentin Tarantino as one of his favourite films, but don't let that put you off. It is actually very good. Written by Charles Brackett and Billy Wilder. It's actually produced by Charles Brackett, based on a play. And again, it's not prime Wilder, but it's a lot of fun. Next, something a little bit different. Spy number 238. This is Fruit Chan's Made in Hong Kong from 1997, so we're jumping a bit. This one stars non-professional actors using discard film stock. It's about a small-time crook who witnesses a young girl ending her life, and then they find letters and decide to deliver those letters. It's a wonderful little film. There's certainly something a little Lee Chang-dong about it. This is a 1080 presentation from a 4K restoration. There's a new interview with Fruit Chan. There's a new interview with producer Doris Yang. There's a new interview with producer Daniel New interview with Marco Miller, former director of the Locarno Film Festival. Plus there's a booklet with not only Tony Raines but Alexandra Helen Nicholas again. I was going to say modern film, but it's almost 30 years old now. But for Eureka Massive Cinema, it's a modern film and well worth checking out. Next, we're back with Conrad Veidt and Paul Lenny. This is Spy number 239, and this is Waxworks, or what's left of Waxworks. Some of it got melted. This is from 1924. Again, it's a portmanteau film. And it's 81 minutes long. Each story focuses on, there's a caliph played by Emil Jannings, Ivan the Terrible played by Conrad Veidt, and Jack the Ripper played by Werner Krauss. Looks wonderful. Again, MOC are probably the best at making silent films really pop. Again, it's Blu-ray and a booklet. Obviously Conrad Veidt's the best. That's a completely unbiased opinion there. As I can't get the slipcover back on. This is a 1080p, there's 2 scores. There's a feature-length commentary by Adrian Martin. There's a wonderful piece in search of the original version of Paul Lenny's Das Wacken Figure Achenbitten, an interview with Julia Wallmuller based on her presentation after the premiere of the restored film at Il Cinema Ritravo Festival in Bologna 2020. Kim Newman on Waxworks, an in-depth on-camera interview with journalist, film critic and fiction writer Kim Newman about the legacy of Waxworks, and Paul Lenny's Rebus film number 1, originally screened in the 1920s German cinemas as a featurette accompanying the main film. So it's not the complete version, but it's still a really enjoyable film. So that's Spy number 239. At 240, just in case you thought the Eureka Massive Cinema was just all arty-farty, it's Mothra. Look at that lovely bit of cardboard. This was a bit of a surprise. I mean, obviously Eureka kind of standard. Eureka do release lots of kind of martial arts films or whatever, but Mothra was a bit of a surprise. You get a double-sided poster. Again, it's beautiful colours. with articles and such. I mean, obviously you get standard editions of these, but what a lovely, lovely artwork. That's the alternate artwork, the original Japanese poster. This is by Ishiro Honda, of course, from 1961. There's two cuts of the film, so there's a 100 minute, even if I could speak English, and 90 minute. 1080p of the Japanese and English release versions. There's English subtitles, obviously, in the Japanese one. There's an audio commentary by David Kalat on the Japanese version, Steve Reifel and Ed Godziewski. Commentary in the English version. Kim Newman again, on Mothra and the legacy of Mothra. And again, there's a 60-page booklet with writings including Jasper Sharp. Yeah, wonderful kaiju, and just one of the nicest releases you'll ever see in your life if you're into that sort of thing, which we are, of course. And spine number 241 and 242, it's more Honda. It's a double bill of the H-Man and Battle in Outer Space. These are from 1958 and 1959. A total of 347 minutes. There's the artwork for the H-Man. And there's a booklet, and they each get their own disc. They're not put on one disc, which is rather good. So this is another fun edition, and they're in Toho scope, of course, just in case you were worried about that. Again, you get the Japanese and English versions of these films. The H-Man has a brand new commentary by David Kalat, and another brand new commentary by Steve Reifel and Ed Godziewski, which isn't his name. Battle in Outer Space has got two commentaries as well, with David Kalat, and the English version is Steve Reifel and Ed Godziewski. Yeah, I'll just change his name every time I say it. And again, there's essays by Jasper Sharp and others in the booklet. I think I would prefer a commentary with Jasper Sharp, to be honest. But again, are these masterpieces? Not really, but they're lots of fun. And then we're back to, we had too much fun there, so we're back to silent films again. Spine number 243, it's a Carol Emily production, and it's The Last Warning. This is from 1929, it's 78 minutes. And again, it's Paul Lenny, and it's Paul Lenny's final film, sadly, before he expired. And there's, and again, the disc and a lovely booklet. And this one, it's a 4K restoration, so it does look gorgeous. There's a commentary by Stephen Jones and Kim Newman, which is excellent, as you'd expect. Paul Lenny in The Last Warning. There's a video essay by John Soyster on Lenny's final film, and the booklet has a new essay by Philip Kemp, and a short essay by composer Arthur Barrow on his score for the film. Yeah, I would say this one isn't great. It's not up to the Lenny standards, but it's still, well, it's historically important, and it's still a fun watch. It's 78 minutes. And then finally, another one that I have another edition of. So finally, spine number 244. This is Vi, the wonderful little ghosty vampire horror film from Russia from 1967, but you also get a bonus film. So this is a double feature. You get a film from Yugoslavia in 1990, which is 90 minutes, A Holy Place, which is pretty much from the same story. So I've also got the Severn Blu-ray, which I got first before the MOC released that. That's a beautiful artwork there. Oh, I didn't actually realise this. See, it's only through my exposure through Deaf Crocodile, but the work of Alexander Puchko. Alexander Puchko was artistic director on Vi, which probably explains quite a lot. That's probably why it looks so gorgeous. Certainly inside the church. Yeah, I didn't actually realise that until I read this. Alexander Puchko, the wonderful director, the Russian Disney. He's the artistic director. Nice. It's a simple story of a trainee priest that has to go and spend 3 nights in a chapel to ward off evil spirits. It's just so much fun. The last 20 minutes is an absolute riot. So again, this is a 2-disc with both films. Again, Vi itself is only 77 minutes, but it's a fun 77 minutes. It's a 1080 presentation, a restoration by Moss Film. The subtitles obviously. There's a new audio commentary by Michael Brook. It's always very good. There's a brand new essay on Gogol, Nikolai Gogol, who story originally came from, by Samuel Goff, or Dr. Samuel Goff, sorry. Remembering Nikolai Gogol, archival documentary. There's 3 Russian silent film fragments. The Portrait from 1915, which is 8 minutes. The Queen of Spades from 1916, which is 16 minutes. And Satan Exultant, 1917, from 20 minutes. There's the trailer. There's a booklet on new writing on Puchko by film critic Tim Lucas. There's an essay on director Dordy Hadevich and his film adaptation of Gogol's novella Holy Place by Serbian critic and author Dejan Onjinovic. I apologise for the pronunciations. Yeah, Vi is a lovely little film, and again you get the bonus of the Yugoslavian version from 1990. So that is my biggest run yet of my Masters of Cinema from Eureka, spine number 228 to 244. Certainly a mixed bag, even if there's a couple of directors that appear multiple times. So please let me know which one of these films you have an MOC, or which one of these films that you've seen, which is your favourite, and hopefully you'll join me again for more episodes of my Eurekas in a row. And if you can get your hands on this, very good. So thanks so much for watching. This is Solitaire Ronan from Solitaire Ronan Films, saying farewell.